Hey y'all, we back at it. Day 3 of Conquer Your Hiring. I'm trying to wait till trying to make sure my Instagram load up too because I've been going live on Instagram. Trying to be consistent. Okay? Trying to be consistent. But what's going on, y'all? Let me grab my phone so that I can Lord, pull up my comments, honey. How y'all doing today? If you're catching the replay, let me know down in the comments. And if you are new, let me know down in the comments. Y'all already know if you're catching the replay, do hashtag replay. And if you're new, I want you to do hashtag new just so I can know who's here. But I'm so excited. I'm so full of energy, y'all. Today was a good day. Today was a good day. Today was such a good day for me. And so we just got off the Zoom call for the Conquer Club open house. So I got a chance to meet some of you ladies from the group, which was so cool. And I always say, like, we follow each other and y'all get a chance to see me on live, but I never get a chance to really see y'all. Some of y'all, a lot of y'all don't go live. But I don't really get a chance to see y'all and talk to y'all and hear your voice. So it's so refreshing for me to be able to get on Zoom and talk to you and hear who you are. So I got a chance to learn about some ladies and got a chance to, see if the Conquer Club was a really good fit for them, which it was. So I'm excited about the new ladies that joined. Shout out to Olivia, shout out to Kimberly, shout out to Angelica, and shout out to Katrina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm so excited about that. And y'all, this has been just on a little personal note, right? Just because I want somebody that's listening to just understand when you're really trying to go to the next level, like me. Is anybody like me, right? You're really trying to go to the next level. You're like, I'm really trying to do something different. I'm really trying to turn up. I'm really trying to do big things. Or, I feel like I'm doing big things, but after a while they look small. So I'm trying to do bigger things. I'm trying to hang in newer circles. I'm trying to learn information that's going to help me be more sustainable, information that's going to help my business get funding, information that's going to make me feel more confident. I'm trying to meet new people and do bigger things. So a result of that is me really getting on here a lot more and just sharing some of the things that I know, some of the knowledge that I have. The ladies in the Conquer Club get so much information, and I feel like there's still so much that I can teach her, a lot of details here, especially when it comes to doing some HR work and HR consulting. But, I really want to make sure that if you're a woman business owner, especially if you're a small business owner, especially if you're that first generational entrepreneur, you're the first generation entrepreneur, you don't have, I don't want to say you don't have anybody, but the closest person that you have to you that you trust, their opinion, they're online. You don't have anybody that you can truly pick up the phone and get true next level advice. Or if you do, you stay stuck in your mind so much that you don't move forward. So that's one group of people. But I also have another group of people who are like, hey, I'm doing it. I do it all day, every day. I've been doing it for years, right? I'm in this. I just got to keep the momentum going. Okay. So this week we've been talking about hiring. So we've done the 1K in 1 week challenge. We've done the how to get popular online challenge, which was really fun. And this week we're talking about hiring. So a lot of people talk to me about getting VAs overseas. I offer virtual assistants to some of my one-on-one clients. So a lot of people want to hire overseas. They want to find people on Upwork, on Fiverr, and bring them onto their team. So y'all know I have a background in HR. So I want to talk about when you're saying that these people are on your team, what does that look like? Okay, so Monday, we talked about hiring. We talked about how to find great candidates. So I shared some nuggets on how to find really great candidates. Last night, I talked about what you need before you start hiring and then how to start avoiding some of those lawsuits. Because once you start bringing on a teammate, they add a lot of benefits, but it also carries a lot of risk. So I talked about how to avoid some of the lawsuits. And so tonight I'm going to be talking about how do you actually manage your staff. And then I want to be clear about the difference between an employee and a contractor. A VA from the Philippines is not your employee. A VA that you found off Upwork that does your graphics is not your employee. Okay? That is not your employee. That is a contractor. And there are very distinct differences that are already defined by law that makes someone an employee versus a contractor. And so I'm not saying that it's not a flex. It is very much a flex to have a contractor working inside your business a lot, but that's not your employee. That's not your employee. Okay. So let's talk about that. Those key differences. Let me find my page that I had with my notes on it. And y'all already know the drill. When I'm finding my notes that I just did. I just finished making these notes. Go ahead and drop down below in the comments who you are, what you do, where you live. You never know who's watching. You never know who's in the comments. You never know who might need you. You never know who might want to collab with you. So drop it down in the comments. Lord, I couldn't find my notes, Lord. I'm like, girl, listen. Shout out to Vera for my Fly Boss planner because I can't live without it. Y'all, today was such a good day. To the point where I've literally been on such a high all day that normally when I get on live, my energy is like 20 out of 20, but I'm just like, man, today has really been good. Okay, so from an HR professional, from an HR consultant, for somebody that's worked in big box retail, Fortune 500, and also done HR consulting on the side, small business owners. Now, some of us may not be in a position to hire yet. We've got somebody off Fiverr. We've got a contractor. Cool. Stay the course. Stay on your journey. Maybe you want to keep listening so that you have future knowledge. But I have quite a few entrepreneurs that follow me where, of course, they've already broken well into six figures. They're trying to hit that 7-figure mark. And they realize I have to have a team. My back end's got to be organized. I don't have a handbook. I don't know I haven't written people up. It's just kind of willy-nilly and random. I want to help you work through that. Okay, so this won't be for everybody, but again, this is really helpful for the people that are in that, high 6-figure, really trying to get over that $1 million mark. You realize you need HR and you need it quick. Okay. How do you manage staff? This is going to be quick. Okay. How do you actually manage staff? I was talking to my friend earlier, and I said that just because somebody's a good business owner doesn't mean that they're a good leader. Myself included. I've needed leadership training. I've needed to understand that just because I can go 60 miles an hour, 24/7, learn everything, that it is impossible and straight up wrong for me to expect my teammates to do the same. And there is so much emotion tied up in business owners when we've built the business ourselves and got it out the mud and pulled up our bootstraps and once a solopreneur and we did everything. And, we get these teammates and we expect them to just come on and treat them like the military and come on. I did it by myself. Ain't no reason why they shouldn't be able to do all that. Well, if they could, they would have their own business and they would not be working for you. Okay. So again, just because you're a good business owner doesn't mean that you're a good leader. So we've got to be honest about that. And we've got to make sure that we're seeking the necessary resources so that we're good business owners and great leaders. Two very different things. Okay. How do you manage your staff? Real quick, I'm going to give you 3 pointers. Okay. First thing is having regular huddles, having regular meetings. Please don't have a teammate. And the only thing that you want to just do is send them stuff to do. There's no huddles. There's no weekly check-in. You don't talk to them to go over their performance, the KPIs, the sales. Okay, Deb, you're talking to my employee. Her name is Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca, this week you completed 97% of this stuff on time. You contributed to $10,000 in sales. The goal was $8,000. So great job on that. But it seems like, you were supposed to hit about 60 calls per week. And it looks like you actually only hit 45. So let's just talk about it. Walk me through what you do. And let's see what we can do together to get you up to 60. With your sales teams, your huddles don't look like that. Your huddles they're straight up motivating. They're like before we go play on the football field type of huddles. They're not going over numbers to break you down and make you think about what you're doing. Okay. Your sales huddles look like, good morning, guys. We're going to be doing 20 memberships to the Conquer Club today. Let me show y'all this amazing testimonial we had. Rashana said that she's quit her job and yada, yada, yada. So great job to y'all. All right, y'all, we can do it. I know that y'all are da-da-da. All right, the goal for today is 20. All right, let's break. A good business owner may not necessarily be a good leader. You have to know who your team is, what they're here for, and you have to adjust accordingly. So, regular huddles and determine what those look like for you and your team. So, another tip about managing your staff is having clear rewards and also clear consequences. So, in small businesses, I have seen um, people say, oh my God, they're doing such a good job. I'm just going to give them a raise just randomly. There is no structure. There is nothing for them to work towards. There's no clear reward. Okay. We've got to start to shift into the mindset of the big timers. Okay. What do they tell you? After 90 days on your job, you're eligible for this. After 6 months on your job, you're eligible for 2%. After 12 months on your job, you're eligible for 1.5% increase. The rewards and the milestones are clear. They're not just willy nilly. They're not just random. They're not just, oh, I like you. You really saved my butt yesterday. Raise. You're going to drown your company by not putting it first. Okay. Clear consequences. We talked about this, had to have been yesterday when we talked about the idea of making sure that you have a handbook, that you have a code of conduct, that people can clearly see what the repercussions are if they don't meet sales goals, if they're late, if they do a no call, no show. Y'all know in your past job, in that handbook, it got that point system for attendance. It tell you 2 no call, 3 no call, no shows means you're out of here. The consequences are clear. That's something that we need to think about for our small business also. And what did I say yesterday, y'all? It's 2024. We can use AI for that. Okay? Clear rewards and also clear consequences. Okay? So, third thing, and this is something that I was talking to my friend about earlier. Shout out to you, Mel. And it really made me think about making sure I point this out. And that is when you have your staff, celebrate them and don't embarrass them. There is nothing that's more gross than to see a supervisor embarrassing their staff in front of everybody. Even if it's not you that's being talked about, it creates a horrible, horrible perception of your manager. And it creates an unhealthy level of fear to where when the teammate does make a mistake, they're going to try to cover it up themselves and they're not going to be transparent and forthcoming, especially even if it was small. And you don't want that. You don't want employees that if they make a mistake, they don't feel comfortable coming to you because you're the type of person who's going to embarrass them in front of everybody. Because guess what? Every employee, every contractor, every teammate you have is going to make some type of mistake in some part of their journey working for you. And we cannot be leaders that embarrass them when it's their turn for a mistake. Because guess what? As a CEO and as a leader, one day it's gonna be my turn to make a mistake. We don't want to embarrass teammates. It doesn't, especially if they are an overseas contractor. We want to be great leaders with integrity and we want to treat people with respect no matter what. Okay? Celebrate your team. Don't embarrass them. That does not mean that you cannot address goals that haven't been met, but do it privately and do it with grace. Do it with respect. Because your team needs to respect you, especially when that team is super small. Y'all know how it is. When you first grow your team, first it's just 2, 3 of y'all, then it's 5 or 6. When it's that small, make sure you're doing right by them. Okay, so those are the three tips that I have about managing your staff. These are some of the things that I've seen in my career. I've seen companies do them. I've noticed that this is something that they've done repeatedly over and over. So I just wanted to make a note and maybe pass it to some of the small business owners that are listening to me. So regular huddles, right? Regular huddles with our team, just random phone calls and sending them tasks. That's not enough. That's not enough to keep them engaged in your business. So regular huddles, especially if it's virtual. If they working from home and you working from home and you just sending them tasks, like, no, it's just not enough to keep them engaged. So regular huddles, clear rewards and clear consequences. This is a business. Treat it like it. Okay. We don't jeopardize our business for teammates. We don't jeopardize our business for contractors. We don't jeopardize our business for employees. We just don't. Okay. We don't jeopardize what we've built. Okay. So clear rewards and clear consequences. And then we want to celebrate them and not embarrass them. Okay. We want to be owners who are respected, and we want to treat our staff with respect too. So last night when I was on the live, I talked about, I can't remember how did it come up, y'all. Last night when we were on the live, and I talked about the difference between an employee and a contractor. And I even mentioned it at the beginning of this live. A VA overseas is not your employee. They're a contractor. So I kind of wanted to note out the four differences. So these are predetermined. You don't get to determine, if they're employee or contractor. These rules are already predetermined. So you just got to make sure that if you're calling them a contractor, they fit under the guidelines of a contractor. If you're calling the employee, they have to fit under the guidelines of an employee. And once you start crossing and blurring those lines, you're putting your business at risk. You're putting your business at risk. You're putting your business at risk. Okay? So this is why I mentioned yesterday to make sure that if you're a small business owner, that you're signed up to the newsletter on shrm.org, SHRM.org. Go sign up for the newsletter on SHRM and make sure that you're up to date and you can access some of the free resources that they have. So employee versus contractor. Let me go over these four things right quick. Okay. So first thing is equipment. First thing is equipment. If I go start a new job as an employee and I need a laptop to perform this job, I need a cell phone to provide this job. And okay, let's say I need a laptop and a cell phone for this job. If I'm an employee, you have to provide the equipment. As a contractor, I have to provide my own equipment. Again, we don't get to determine this. This is the law. This is already preset. So if you have a contractor and you're giving them the equipment to do the job for you, you're blurring the lines. You're blurring the lines. Okay, so with equipment, an employee gets the equipment for the employer, but a contractor, they come to the table with their own equipment. Okay, don't blur the lines and risk your business. The second thing is going to be benefits. Benefits. So calling somebody your employee, they're going to at least be entitled to some type of benefits. It doesn't mean that you have to provide a full-blown health plan and stuff for them, but if they're an employee of yours, they're entitled to benefits. If they're a contractor, they're not. So again, don't blur the lines. Okay? You don't want to blur the lines. You don't want to have a contractor here in the US if you've got them on your ADP payroll offering them benefits. Don't blur the lines. Okay? Third thing is going to be, oh, this is a good one. Let me take a swig of my drink for this. This is such a good one. Length of time. Y'all, this is why the employment law is so important that you know some of these small things. Length of time. Let me explain this one a little bit. A contractor is designed to come work on a project or over a specific period of time. If you're going to bring somebody on with the idea of bringing them on indefinitely until they quit or you fire them, that's an employee. But a contractor is typically designed to work with your business per project or for a specific amount of time. Don't blur the lines. Don't blur the lines. Okay. And I've seen this is a lot of instance where we'll bring a contractor on and say, oh, I want you to come work for me. And then next thing you know, just we think they finna work with us for we're not even thinking about an end date in sight. An end date would give us the heebie jeebies because I don't want to start over. But if they're a contractor, then that's what that is. Okay. The contractor should be recognized for having their own business and their contribution to yours. Okay. So if they're going to be indefinitely with you until they quit or you fire them, you may be blurring the lines. You may be treating them like an employee when they're designed to be a contractor. Okay. Just something to think about. Okay. And the last one that I have about an employee versus contractor is the discipline. Okay. It's the discipline. So when we have an employee, so if I go to work and I was late the past 8 days, they can write me up. I'm their employee. I know the handbook. I signed the handbook. I signed the code of conduct, yada, yada, yada. They can hold me to their standard and discipline me. A contractor, not so much. For your contractor, it has to be about them breaching the contract that y'all had together. So think a more relatable example to this would be if you're flipping a house and you have a contractor come in. You don't go write the contractor up because they made the island 5 feet instead of 9 feet. You don't go write them up. You say, well, you spent $20,000 off the project. This was a breach of contract, so we can no longer do business. Y'all see the key difference there? The contractor is about what was agreed upon and if they're whether they're not they're in breach. Oh, I gotta do my disclaimer. What I say? This ain't legal advice. This ain't legal advice. This is not legal advice. I forgot to say it at the beginning. This is not legal advice. Okay, but I just want to give you some of these employment law tidbits that I've learned over the course of my HR career because I see how it can help us. Because some of us just don't know yet. Okay, or some of us we're not even child. We got so much going on we can't even think about all this. Okay, so the disciplinary actions. If you have a contractor, it's about them breaching the terms of the agreement, breaching the terms of the contract. With an employee, you can discipline them per your code of conduct, per your handbook, yada, yada, yada. Okay? That's all I got for y'all. I hope listen, I know for a lot of the ladies that are in my group, some of us are just not there yet. And then employment law, I know Melanie said it yesterday with the live. She said, this is the part of your business that's not sexy, but it's so necessary. This is a part of your business where when you listen to me listen to me talk about this type of stuff, you like, ugh. But this is the type of stuff that when you start scaling, that's gonna protect you. Because woo, you don't want nobody filing an EEOC claim on you. It's not that we're end of the world if you did everything you're supposed to do. But you don't want those problems. You don't want an employment lawyer calling you talking about some BS. No, you don't. Okay. So we'll be back tomorrow. There is so much that I can share about HR. Y'all, so many examples that I can give, so many scenarios that I can go through. But the biggest thing is as we're scaling, as we're building a team, it is so exciting because you see the return on investment that payroll is. Payroll is a huge expense, but when we're doing it right, we see that it's a huge return on our investment. We can pay somebody $20 an hour and get 3 times that back, 4 times, 5 times that back, right? You see the return on your investment, but don't risk your business by not doing some of the underlying stuff that can blow it all up. That's not what we want. We want to protect our business above all things. We want to protect our business above all things. Okay. We don't allow contractors to ruin our business. We don't allow employees to ruin our business. And we don't want to allow our lack of HR knowledge to ruin what we've built. And unfortunately, it takes one bad situation with a teammate. We didn't know the employment law and we did something that was illegal. And they called one of them employment lawyers on those billboards and they knocking at your door. We don't want that for our business. Okay. We don't even want to deal with it. We don't want no problems. Okay. We don't want no problems. We want no problems. Okay. So we'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about the resources that you can leverage to, if you're like, Deb, this actually was some really good info. We're going to talk about some more resources that you can leverage. We'll also talk about some technology that you can integrate in your business that's really cost effective, that can help you stay in alignment with some of the things that I've talked about. And then if you are looking for an HR consultant like me, you don't need somebody full time, but you need somebody that you can call that can come in and create the handbook, create the onboarding process, talk about what does it look like to discipline people, or if we only have contractors, get specific with you and tell you what it is that you need. So if you are looking for that tomorrow, I'll have an opportunity for you to come and work with me and help, and I will consult you with your business, right? So if you need an HR consultant just on a small basis, I can help with that, okay? So that's it, y'all. I've been trying to keep my lives under 30 minutes because I'm doing them so much. I'm trying to go live as much as possible this month. This is, look, all of my live streams that I'm doing for the month of April. Okay? We're turning up, okay? But I love y'all. We'll be back tomorrow night, and y'all already know the vibes. When y'all wake up tomorrow, make sure y'all conquer some stuff. Good night, y'all.